So first of all, I changed the branding of this this call from the Zion Mastermind to the Coach's Corner. Might seem like a somewhat meaningless change, but it's not. Side point, when Hormozi changed his podcast he called it something very related to like gyms, like the gym something, and then he changed it to the game. He basically changed the positioning of his podcast, and he did the podcast for like 4 years, and like basically nothing happened. Like he got like a few thousand viewers, like, but he was saying basically the same things as he was back then is what today. So it wasn't really the content that changed; it was the packaging. And so some of you put in the form about like, hey, how do I make my offer better? How do I get more leads? Well, you can think of it like a billboard. You're a billboard for your business, not just in how you look, but how you present your offer. And something subtle as even a name change can have a meaningful change to the associations and connotations that someone has towards your brand and business, which can tell them immediately what you are and what you aren't. So I wanted to make it more specific to the demographic and the people that I'm serving. And I thought it sounded cool too. So that change is also what I'm going to be marketing more publicly as well. So side note and lesson, we're going to talk about the concepts of leverage and how do you know what to do when there are many choices in business and in clients. In that, like, what are some of the lowest hanging fruits you can start with clients? And then we're going to relate that to business as well. We're going to talk about endometriosis. I saw 2 of you guys put some comments in the form actually related to that. We're going to talk about some things that you could, what it is, a basic overview. What are some things you can do to start to address it? And if any of you guys have content that you want us and me to review live, and coaching calls, please put a link to them, a link to it in the chat. Cool? All right. Now, guys, reminder, this is a conversation. Okay? I'm not just like talking up here. So if you guys, please put things in the comments and please like speak up when you have something. That's how you'll get the most out of this. There is no question or comment that you can't make. Very, very safe and comfortable space to say whatever you like. Okay. Let's start with, so how do you know what to do when there are many choices? Okay. First, I'm going to explain something that's going to help you feel a lot less overwhelmed in your life, something I wish I realized earlier. And it's going to be separated by 4 quadrants. It's a little bit thicker. You guys have in business and life, you're going to have 4 main ways you're going to fuck up a problem or do it well. 3 of them are wrong. You have right problem, wrong way. You have the right problem the wrong way. You have the wrong problem the wrong way. And you have the right problem, right effort. Okay. So actually I recommend you draw this with me. This is the right problem the right way. Okay. You have endometriosis, you have period pain, probably put in some PEA. I'm going to talk about that later. That is part of addressing the pain cycle in that condition, but doesn't get to the root cause. In business, a lot of you are spending a lot of time in these right here. Okay. And that would be focusing on areas of your business and life that you think you're doing the right thing. You think you're doing the right thing, but you're not. For example, a lot of you guys are focusing on lead acquisition strategies within your business that you think are effective, but are largely not. 1 second. First 2 boxes are the same. Oh no, they're the same because that's right, and that is supposed to be a W. Sorry, guys. Probably have brain trauma. Boxing. Anyway, keep going. So first, you guys need to be able to identify when you're working on the wrong thing. And truthfully, I've been there. And a lot of the times, you guys and even myself in the past have been working on, for example, the wrong thing. And if you're wondering like why things aren't producing a certain result, I'm not going to name any names, but recently I had a conversation from somebody and maybe in this group, and she said she'd be doing cold outreach and that she'd sent in excess of 1,000 DMs and has 0 calls and 0 like leads from it. That is an example of you want more leads, but you're putting in the right effort. Oh, that effort is fantastic. Okay? That effort is fantastic. That's the right effort, but it's distributed into the wrong direction. I just want to highlight this idea of leverage, and that if you're struggling with acquisition in your business, or something isn't clicking even with your clients, you want to look at the concept of leverage and try and identify, ideally like in a conversation with us, because I can help you identify why it's like poor leverage, into why it's not producing a certain outcome. For example, a lot of you guys think, what the guys are chatting about blood work in the chat, a lot of you guys think that starting with blood work is like the first thing you should start with in a conversation with a client. And for 90% of clients, it's actually not. You are solving the wrong, you're solving the wrong problem first, the right way. So you're going to do blood work well, but you're solving the wrong problem first. It's just a concept I just wanted to introduce you guys to. Next, Kobe, you talked about doing one of the most effective ways to get clients is to run a giveaway. And Kobe talked about doing a 6-week free coaching giveaway. And the problem about that is it's not enough. So when you guys are looking to get attention and to get leads and clients, you need to create a show-stopping, a walk-stopping, a scroll-stopping billboard for yourself. So I have a question for all of you. When's the last time you looked at a billboard and it stopped you? Can you just put in the comments? Like last time, it's like you looked at a billboard, or you know what, we can even run content. When's the last time you even did a piece of content or saw a piece of content and it stopped you in your tracks, either billboard or content? You're just like, wow, that was something. Like it just stopped you. Just put in the comments. Yep. What was it? Cool. Any billboards? I remember. So, Kobe, great. So that piece of content all stood out to you, or that thing you're thinking of stood out to you out of the hundreds and hundreds of other pieces of media that you saw. With your giveaway, we have a full module in there that shows you the step-by-step of how to do a giveaway properly. When you do a giveaway or even a piece of content, you need to ask the question. This is something I learned from Eugene Tia. We're doing some work and mentoring with him, is you need to ask yourself the question, like, what is going to stop the scroll? And that's going to be the first 3 seconds of the hook, the first seconds. And Kobe, and for anybody else doing a giveaway, is that 6 weeks of free coaching is like white noise to people at this point. You want to make an offer that people feel stupid saying no to. And that is a principle that underlies your own offer that you create within your coaching business, is how can you make your offer feel so compelling that someone would look at that, be like, damn, I'm stupid if I don't take that up, or at least give it a chance. So Kobe, unmute yourself for a second. What's the answer for you in this case?
The answer is in, instead of just making it 6 weeks free coaching, which is, a bit of blah, 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 make it an outcome that they're chasing. As in, you might target a market, or, double your strength in this lift in this time, or drop 5 kilos in 10 weeks, or something a bit more, oh shit, that's worth doing. That's what I want.
That is absolutely one option. And if your market and demographic of people are particularly biased towards a certain outcome, let's say you're in a powerlifting gym, like you can speak very much to strength. Let's say you're in a gym that's a lot of people are very body composition, physique focused. You can focus on that. So you're definitely going in the right direction, or a direction. But the answer more specifically, and one that we've run successfully, is a numerical amount. Typically, giveaways work quite strongly when they have an associative amount of money that people feel like they're saving, or value they're it's being perceived to be receiving. Meaning, $1,000, $2,000 of insert service coaching. We've run that with, for example, Riley M, and very high perception of value creates intrigue, and it's a large enough amount of money that to most people, they would want to save it. Why I prefer that generally to 4 weeks or 8 weeks or 12 weeks of free coaching, which some of you have done, is because the perception of, let's say, a long time period has a high barrier. People want results quick, and when they come in your business, you want to paint vision that it's actually going to be long. But you want to reduce the perception of pain. And if I see, or if someone sees 12 weeks of free coaching, I don't have 12 weeks. 12 weeks is a big commitment. All these limiting beliefs start to come and people not pay attention. So generally, that's why I recommend you guys associate a monetary amount or a pain solution that's very clear to your giveaways. And by the way, every runner-up gets a prize. Remember that. Just follow the system. It works very well. Questions, follow-ups from anybody?
I really like the advice on skipping the time frame, because I had seen in the module, I think there was a 6-week time frame in some of them. And then seeing Riley's $2,000 and I had seen 1,500 and things like that. So maybe skipping that time frame and putting emphasis on why. It's not just skip the time frame, it's because people see a barrier and you're wanting to break down that barrier of entry.
Right.
So that's really helpful for me to hear before implementing it.
Awesome. Okay. Some of you asked about your offers. Just going to talk on it briefly, and then we can get into more health stuff. So in regards to an offer, there are going to be, by the way, you guys all should just have one offer, one lead source, like one funnel, one. It's the 5 ones. It's not mine. That's from Taki. And this is partly from Taki as well. I've been doing some mentoring with him. So there's something called the offer diamond, and it's a really elegant way to describe like how you can present your offer to the world, because you can be super smart and have an amazing skill set, but if no one knows who you are and you have no clients to serve, then it falls all on deaf ears. It's just you're really smart. You should be a researcher maybe. That's why I like to do both in these conversations. Okay. All right. So core components of a compelling offer. You have promise. You should write this down, and you should look at your offer right now, and you guys can put your offer in the chat, and I will look at them and review them if you would like. A promise. What is that? That's pain, dream, solution. What's the major pain point? What's the dream outcome? And how are you going to help them solve that? Pain, let's go more objective. Low confidence and has struggled to lose weight for years. Dream, it's not just losing weight. It's being the type of person. It's being the type of person and becoming the type of person that is confident in their skin and consistent. And the solution is what you have to offer them, whatever your service is. It's a very mediocre example. A big one a lot of you guys miss, risk reversal, money back guarantee. A lot of you guys don't have the authority, the testimonials, the experience and exposure of someone like me. So you need more leverage. You're willing to give somebody their money back if they don't get a result. By the way, you have to caveat this with terms and conditions later, or a love it or leave it guarantee, which I now put in for Zion. Then what does this do for people? Starts with T. Yeah, exactly. And in a world that is so skeptical already, people want to feel like they can take a risk with their money and their time and trust. So this could be as many types of guarantees. Love it or leave it. There is a money back if you don't achieve a certain outcome. There is a satisfaction guarantee. I would keep it simple, and I would do one of two things. I will mentor or I will coach you for free until you get the result. If you don't get the result by X date, or I'll just give you your money back. Now, in the T's and C's, make sure you caveat it. You need to, for example, show up like I have it in Trinity. You need to show up to like 90% of calls. You need to do the check-in tracker. You need blah, 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 blah. You need to do this. I've had one person out of all the clients I've coached. This is not a coach. I've got one person who has asked for their money back. The most hardest male client I've ever had, I think, like psychologically too. But once I spoke to him like a human being, he actually changed his mind, and it's okay. So almost no one actually asks for it back because they shouldn't need to. This is a risk reversal. This is something missing from a lot of your offers, and you will increase conversion by having this in place. Next is a payment plan. That's basically a friendly way for them to pay you. A lot of you guys, some of you do upfronts. I know, Nathan, you do like packages still. Is that right? I can't see anybody's faces, so I don't know if you...
Yeah, sorry. I was just shaking my head saying yes.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I do a 4-month package. And it's like I started with 3 months and then I was thinking of moving month to month, but it's like I like having that 4 months together to lock in foundations in that first month, then start to move through different phases.
What's your conversion percentage from the 4-month mark?
Probably around, I'd say 50%.
Okay, 50%.
Some people stay on, and then well, at the moment I've got one client that's been with me for about 6 or 7 months. Probably he's my longest standing client.
Do you have
And
like
then
the
I've had
numbers, like the
people
average?
No, I don't have those numbers.
As in you
Like,
don't have them in front of you or don't have them at all?
I don't have it at all.
Okay. Go into the Zion and get the CRM template. Like you need those numbers.
Yeah.
Why I really don't. Nathan had a previous mentor who's fairly decent before me, but I just want to explain the trade-offs to this system. It's fine. You can do it. Here's the trade-off to having packages or systems where it's like 8 weeks or 12 weeks at a time versus just recurring. So what color do we want? Black. Life cycle of a client. Because you guys need time to apply the learnings. What does that mean? What's an arrow? You have like someone with gut issues, endometriosis, that's going to take some time. Whatever the health condition is, even a body composition goal, 4 months, we can set foundations like Nathan said. We can set foundations. We can get some early wins, but you're not going to really change somebody's like life in that short amount of time unless they 100% kind of adhere and go insane balls to wall. It's just uncommon. So let's say the 4-month mark is here, 4 months. Now, let's say Christian, for example, in this group has one of the best average LTVs out of a coach who's just begun. I'll gas him up a little bit. It's over a year, right, Christian? Or about a year?
Yep.
It's a very humble year. I'd like you guys to get to 12. If Nathan's is on average 4-5 months and he only has 50% continue. 50%. It's not very good. It's okay. But it's 50% of people are actually not getting the long-term transformation. Not necessarily about you, Nathan, but I'm just speaking generally. Like you may get great transformation in 4 months. That's awesome if you do. Every time you have a gate of like 12 weeks, 4 months, you now have to do what? 100%. You have to resell for an undefined amount of time unless you paint vision. So if you're really good at it and you have painted vision from the beginning, what does this mean? If you've painted vision from the beginning, then they have the expectation, the understanding that it's going to take a 12-month period of time. And you put in different events throughout this customer journey, which I'll speak more specifically on in the future. So when you're onboarding a client, that's the exact moment you lose them. Day 0, week 1, the vision that you paint. I've painted my coaching. I've had 6-month minimums, 3-month minimums. I've painted the vision of my coaching to be 12-month experiences. I've put those in my VSLs. I've made it really clear that do not join with me if you are not long-term minded. Put a lot of kind of gates or caveats for that. And I've really made the expectations clear from the beginning. And I'd ask the client via Socratic questioning, hey, how long do you expect this to take? And you want to ask that question of virtually every client is because you want to manage their expectation with reality. I ask many of you, how long do you think it will take to achieve your goal? And if you tell me a number that is inaccurate or delusional, then we need to bridge that gap. Because if you do not achieve that by the X date, 4-month mark, you will be disappointed. And that affects your reputation, that affects the result. So if, generally speaking, it's nice to have a big upfront 4 months. Someone paid me $2,500. By the way, that's how a lot of business coaches show you their testimonials, and they show you that a client's making like $20K a month, and it's in the first 8 weeks, and you're like, what the fuck? Often, that is because they've encouraged their clients to do upfronts, paid in fulls. Very easy to do that. I would rather you guys have cash flow. So I would consider for Nathan and some of you to design a program that has vision that extends for 12 months and beyond. And so you would map out the ideal kind of client journey and all the different events or different type of archetypes of clients. The female client, I would just make a custom one for each client in the beginning, in their initial consultation. Here's what 12 months looks like. Give them anticipation, events, challenges to look forward to. And you do this right, you can potentially your rev, double your LTV. Do you think it's okay? Any questions, guys, by the way? Do you think it's okay to have 2 options with different frequencies? The fortnightly monthly cost to provide? Yes. No. I recommend, like you can go on my health coaching page. Yes, I do recommend that. You pigeonhole people, only pigeonhole people into one option that is very rigid unless you have a lot of demand. You can have the leverage to do that. yes, I would recommend doing fortnightly, monthly, and then doing bespoke packages for certain clients who need it, the 20%. But you don't have to display every single offer on there. You can just have 2. Do not overwhelm it. Some of my clients' results, though, I wouldn't be able to get if I spoke to monthly. Binge eating case for 10 years she had. We did it in 10 months. I spoke to her weekly. She's paid for 15-minute calls. I gave her 30 to 45 minutes extra. So I need more time. I would not have had one of my best testimonials without that. And you guys want to do, not you guys, some of you. Some of you want to do looms. Shit. I don't know how you fix that over loom. God, you to be a magician. Can we create names for programs for females and male clients? I'm working with something like Mirror Mirror on the Wall, who's the fittest of the fittest female of them all. That sounds like a good challenge name. But I wouldn't call my offer that. There's too many words and it doesn't paint the actual like specific outcome. I think road to legendary, I don't think we need to get as fluffy. Sage, if you could add a little bit more specificity to your question, and I will answer this last part on the offer diamond and we'll move on. Urgency, scarcity. So urgency, scarcity. You know when people say that I got 5 spots left? I got 3 spots left. I got 7 spots left, guys. Okay. Number 1, there's 2 things. It can work, but it's also really non-believable unless it's real. I've seen this shit work in ads. I've seen behind some pretty well-performing ad platforms, and there are coaches doing, I have 5 spots available for XYZ, and it's converting on like really shitty media, like a selfie photo with like really poor text, very raw media is performing well. People don't respond as well to a lot of high-polished content. Urgency scarcity works if it's real, and it is real for all of you because you can only take a certain amount of clients. And so when you have urgency, that's time. So it could be monthly cohorts, could be quarterly cohorts, or scarcity, that's the amount of people that you can take on within a given time. The biggest ones that I pull that have been the most effective for me is going to be this, it's going to be this, and then putting that into, by the way, this can be a free trial, putting that into a great landing page with VSL, making it really human. You can copy mine. I think the things to add to your action to-do list, guys, is add a risk reversal to your coaching page, review your promise, and really nail the title. All the titles you see, I like agonize over, like every fucking word. Language is really important, and it's the difference between people stopping and reading and moving on. Paint vision from the beginning in your expectations agreement, in your conversations, your initial consult. Create a custom visual plan for them over 12 months. If they have serious health conditions or even moderate health conditions, psychological, binge eating disorder, whatever, you're gonna need time. You're gonna need time. Do this right, we could double your revenue. Not an exaggeration. It's going to take time, but we can do it. We can do it. And we don't even need to touch your pricing. Speaking of pricing, I feel like everyone, Sage, do you want to just tell me with your voice? I like to hear people's voices about this.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like everyone is kind of sitting around that same like $100 mark at the moment. And I'm the same. And obviously it's like daily communication, whatever, and like a monthly call and that kind of thing. But yeah, like I'm just thinking about like increasing my revenue without getting more clients necessarily. Like obviously like a couple more clients, but they'd be worth like 4, if that makes sense. Like if I'm upping that price and kind of creating that idea of like increased value with having a weekly call, and then it's like a really like connection based offer rather than just like, yeah, we have a call once a month and obviously weekly check-ins and whatever. But yeah, but obviously like 200 a week is kind of on the higher end, not super high, but
200 a week, you said?
Yeah, around about that, I was thinking. Because right now I charge for weekly calls $130, but I don't know if that's like too low.
What's your conversion percentage? Like the amount of people that hop on a call, or like they're a warm lead, they're interested in your service, and then they turn into a client?
I should probably work that out.
Even roughly.
I'm not 100%
if you
sure.
get on 10 calls, how many of them, can we just do that in the chat, guys? If you get in 10 calls, every 10 calls, how many of those people turn into a client?
I'd probably say, yeah, maybe
Honest.
half.
Half?
Yeah.
Anybody else? Lockie, what's yours? Yeah, that's crazy. I thought of your name right before. Okay, cool. If it's half or less than half, I wouldn't say raising your prices is going to, if that's the only thing you do, I don't think it's going to help, because you're just going to create more of a barrier. If your conversion is 65, 70, 80%, you can afford to raise your prices because your conversion is quite good and you can afford to say no to people. Instead, I would figure out how we can improve that from 50 to 60 or 70%, or 6 out of 10, 8 out of 10. All right. So move this to the side. All right. If you want more scarcity and demand is going to dictate this, like supply and demand is going to dictate this, principles of economics. So if you're really in demand, obviously you have more leverage. You can afford to raise your prices. You should raise your prices. And ideally, I would, on principle, like you guys to be premium, expensive, and fair. People who buy expensive, generally your best clients, most committed. But when you're beginning, in your first years, the greatest advantage that you can have or that you will have is time and ignorance, because if I was starting again and I wanted to build the best coach possible, I would give them mass exposure on mass, insane exposure. I would want them to coach a ton to build experience, to build exposure to the most amount of people as possible. Can we see my screen? Come to my screen. Where I'm going with this is if you raise your prices even by 20%, 30%, it's only going to have to your bottom margin, to your profit margin, it's not going to have that big of an effect on your profit margin if you have less than 10 clients. If conversion is under 60%, I'd rather you keep your prices where they are, and I'd rather you actually give options available for those clients who can't afford more than $100 a week. How am I going to visualize this? If you have one client, actually, no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, no. Every 10 clients, you might get a 10% referral. So for every 10 people, one person refers. So you need 100 clients to do a good job with them to have them refer 10 people. This compounds over time. It's like a flywheel, meaning the more people that you coach, how can I visualize this? The more people that you coach, the more your business becomes more effortless if you do a good job. Because let's say I know some guys who don't need social media anymore, who don't have any referral systems, strategies, business, nothing. Word of mouth drives the whole business. Doing $500,000 plus a year, 40, 50 clients, loving it. Got a family and everything. In the game for a long time, coached en masse. Guys, I know money's important to you. What I'm going to say is obsess about the client. Get the best result possible. Scale analog effort and go above and beyond. 1,000. Road to 1,000. If you can, I know that's going to sound like a big number. The closer you can sprint to 1,000 clients, if you can, and it doesn't need to happen at this, it can happen between 500 to 1,000. Sprint to 500 to 1,000. If you can get this and do a good job with this many people, you now have 500 to 1,000 people who are talking about you, who have gotten a great result with you. Maybe you get a great result with 80% of them. You get a great result, percent of 1,000. 80 people are going to be referred to you just off the math. If it's a 10% referral, even if it's a 5%, it's 40 people, and you don't have to do anything anymore for social media. I know this. This is real. This is not theory. This is uncommon because most people give up way before their 500th client. Most people give up because their fucking posts aren't performing or because they're struggling with leads. So my answer to you Sage, is will you be able to get your first 500 to 1,000 clients by being really expensive right now, or by giving options available to people for many budgets? Some mentors right now will tell you be expensive, be premium. I agree with that. For you, Sage, and for some of you in here, you don't have the lead acquisition to make greatest use of it. When you are early in your career, even if you've been coaching for years, when I say I'm talking about business shit, when you're in your first 5 years, let's say, this is your time where you can afford to be cheaper, to work with a ton of people. So Kiara, for example, your skill set is going to accelerate at a insane rate. You are obsessed more than anybody here. You're on an exponential curve of growth. The temptation is going to be to raise your prices in accordance with that. But it's not the knowledge, it's the actual results, testimonials that are also really important here. Now, I don't know how many clients some of you guys want to coach. It doesn't matter too much. My career was built to be here, not by being expensive fast. I got really great testimonials and stories first, and some of the best ones were people paying me less than $120 a week. $60, $70, $80. Kiara, what'd you pay for me when you started?
It was either 80 or 90 a week or 100, somewhere in there.
Kiara's like a top 10, top 5 story of mine. Because of her, because I've done a good job capturing that story, put videos out on YouTube, and she's been a great billboard for me, gotten clients, gotten students. Kiara, if I was 150, like, could you have afforded more back then?
No
No.
way.
No. If you have exposure to a market that can afford you and the leads are coming in, great. Be the most expensive as you can be. But if you don't, then sprint to your first 500 to 1,000 clients and do the absolute best job you can do. I've always wanted to build out a community based off, for example, something out school or circle, which is an education hub, coaching kind of thing. From there, build trust. Hopefully people then would want to convert to one-on-one. No, you've said one core offer, but this would be a good idea for me. I've been doing this for, Nathan, you've been doing this for the last 4 months. Jordan Davey has wanted to lead. I also want to do this, but first to hit a client target, then scale. I get it. I get the temptation. This is an example. This is funny. We taught this in the beginning. Wrong problem, right way. If it's free, I can see value of it if you make it a part of your existing client community. But if you guys have, and this comes to clients as well, you only have a certain amount of time in a given week, a certain amount of time with clients, a certain amount of time, resources available to you. I don't want to draw this. You only have a certain amount of time and resources. And a lot of you are stuck, and I know this because this has been me, and it's been so frustrating. The blue, this is the time you have available. Clem and I were talking about, what were we talking about? Doing Google reviews, right? Oh, I want to do some, I want to get on Google so I can do, people can review me and then they can find me in the area. Clem doesn't currently have a profile on Google, but he's moved to Melbourne and he's trying to establish himself. Okay. So this is the amount of time you have, all the blue dots in a week. Okay. So dumb shit number 1. That's now taken up this time. All right, let's start a free school community. All right, and this is now the resources taken up here. These are really fucking not good drawings. I'm not Picasso. Let's do something else because I saw it on Instagram now and it sounded really good. So now you only have this allocated time left to actual high leverage shit because you are chasing all these things that sound good. This is the idea, and the equivalent is like, oh, let's do blood work. You want to take all these supplements for a client. Let's buy these or get an Oura ring. Get the bed that cools the mattress. Get that testosterone boosting supplement. You're in the red. Like high leverage. I will come back to this. Can we take a detour to clients for a second? Guys, the industry is selling you sexiness. I do too, in my own ways, probably. But if we have a hierarchy of things to start with clients, I wrote this down. You want to get early wins. Talk about it. What are we putting at the top of this pyramid? Yeah, we'll look over it. We'll look over the bloods. But see, you want to get to bloods. Oh, fuckers, I just want to get to bloods. I've helped fix bad gut issues, bad psychological issues, bad skin issues, autoimmune, bloating looking like a balloon. Can we just start here? Can we just all agree that if you nail the first 30 days with getting obsessed about the shit people fuck up. I'm on a call with the client yesterday. Can't say his name. He's not a student, not coach, client. And he sleeps all fucked up. He's going to bed at 3, 4 a.m. Before you do any supplement, he's taking melatonin. He said it's not working. He's taking magnesium, it's not working. He's taking it at the wrong time, not taking it with food, not taking enough. But before any of that, he said, hey, brother, there's this thing in your brain called the suprachiasmatic nucleus. I didn't actually say this to him. I'm going to tell you this. It signals light signals from your eyes, tell you when to wake, triggers melatonin. Anyway, you need to be outside in the morning. You are going against your own biology by not being outside when you wake. So I just want you to do one thing for me. And we set it as a habit in the tracker. When you go outside, when you wake up, and when you go outside for 10, 15 minutes, look in the distance. When it's sunset, when you go outside. You see, no one's going to buy my shit if I just tell people that. I'm talking about you, I'm talking about them, right? That's what you guys think. I don't care. You just want to help your client in the easiest, most effortless way possible. So we can get the melatonin, magnesium, help them break down catecholamines, great. Maybe have some nice teas, do some regulation work. Supplements are secondary unless the client is in urgent need. There are exceptions. So maybe I want you guys to obsess about becoming the best coaches with the foundations. You know why they're called the foundations? Because they work. I swear to God, this thing is bigger than anything I've ever seen. This comes close second. I should just do this. This is why I have such a big emphasis on psychology. Fuck your blood work protocol. It's I don't mean that completely. I mean, in absence of addressing the biggest thing that all of your clients, including me, including you, it's burdening every body system. It's depleting nutrients. It's wrecking the gut, which then affects the ability for supplements to even be absorbed in a less acidic state. So for my females in here, you need to lead by example. What do I mean? And why am I saying females? Because business is an inherently masculine endeavor. It requires you to embody a different version of yourself that is inherently stressful. It can be difficult to learn how to embody the grounded feminine when you are running a business and you're looking to make money, help people, and grow and work really hard. So, nervous system regulation is a very important part of all of your embodiments, not just for females, but for males too. Being grounded, calm. So you need to lead by example. You need to make sure you're taking care of your own needs. Let me stop sharing this. To lead by example, make sure you're taking care of your own needs. My point is, with that hierarchy, if you guys can start with stress and regulation, Danielle is putting out a lot of content on nervous system regulation. Kiara is a great embodiment of it now as well. And if you can help your clients first start to win the battle of their own mind, then every other strategy you'll give them will be more effective. Then we could talk about bloods and supplements and deep physiology and biochemistry. I realized I was supposed to come back to something. Maybe I will. Today's been quite a different call. I'm going to answer the last thing before I go to Kiara. We could talk about blood work. You guys want to do the communities and add all of these extra things. Till you make your first $500,000 to $1 million, you want one market, one offer, one conversion method, and one channel. One market, one offer, one lead acquisition source that you just hammer. One. Simplicity. Some of you will not like this answer. Old me did not as well. And that's why I stayed where I was for a period of time. If you can nail becoming the best in one offer and keep it minimalist and simple, it will reduce an amount of overwhelm in your life and business that I can barely explain. Having multiple offers, I'm going to do a community, I'm going to do this, can be incredibly overwhelming to do if you don't have a lot of time, especially. So if you can add a community, I highly encourage that in your offer. Do it for your clients first. Don't branch out and make a secondary offer when you haven't nailed the first and are making multi six-figure. All right, enough of me. Kiara, you want to draw, huh?
Yes, I
Faster.
have it ready.
Let's go. Give people context, and we'll take a left turn to some health stuff.
All right, so we're looking at Sage's client. I'm just joining the Zoom.
And what is the main problem?
Sage, did you want to give context for everyone while I set this up?
Sure. So she's 28. She has endo and adeno. She's got the Mirena at the moment, which is
recording in progress.
Sorry.
That's all right.
So which is managing her endo symptoms. So the endo symptoms aren't exactly her main issue at the moment. Her main goal is to lose weight. Of course, it always is. But yeah, so she's really struggling to lose weight. Gut issues are kind of a main thing at the moment as well, like bloating, loose stools, nausea after fatty foods, a bit of stomach pain as well, and very low libido, and it's causing issues in her relationship as well. So stress, I guess, as well. So, but she also wants to have kids in a few years. So we obviously need to get her endo symptoms under control. So yeah.
Thank you.
Have you spoken with her much about coming off? Sorry, my thing's echoing. Coming off the Mirena, and what's that like when she plans to do that and stuff?
Yeah, we haven't spoken too much about coming off it. We've only been working together for a little bit. So I said to her that we need to obviously nail all the basics first and get her body in a really good position before taking the Mirena out. So
Yeah.
Okay,
cool. So with this blood work, I've very quickly skimmed it, I guess, because of the limited time. But I've basically grouped the most important things that stuck out to me into their systems, because I like to use systems physiology when we're looking at stuff. So the first thing that I noticed was methylation. Looked like it was standing out to me as an issue. The reason why is because her zinc was low on the lower end. This is also going to have implications for stomach acid and her hormones too. Her B12 was low. It's a really important nutrient for methylation.
Kiara,
Actually,
can
I
you just
should
explain for those
yeah.
who don't understand what methylation is?
just realized. So it's basically like a really big detoxifying process. Like it's gets applied to so many things from hormones to toxins to your neurotransmitters, plays a role in your genes and the expression of that too. So it's one of those big levers that if it's not functioning as well as it could, it can cause a lot of issues. Like it's kind of broad, but also not. It's pretty easy to identify from my perspective.
Guys,
So
it's this fundamental system. You'll hear the term a lot. Methylation is this fundamental system that underlies the expression of our own genes. And if there are certain nutrients that are deficient, which there are many of them, then the ability for these genes to express, and what could these genes express? Like everything from regulating hormones, which then influences the perception of like pain and stress and de-stress, to how you synthesize vitamins and minerals, which then has downstream implications. So when you hear this term methylation, you have to think you're talking about a very complex but also very pivotal component of biology.
yeah. And when we're looking at estrogen dominance, optimizing methylation is going to be really important here. So I just wrote on the side here the bigger nutrients that we need for methylation to work properly. Now in her blood work, we have the zinc low, B12 on the lower end. Folate is pretty like on the lower end as well, nothing crazy, but it's just like right on the cusp. We can also confirm this because homocysteine was on the higher end too, and then MCV was on the higher end. So when we're looking at this pattern here with the nutrients, we can probably make a reasonable conclusion that, okay, this is a system that we need to support. So that's the first pattern. The second is bile and estrogen kind of come hand in hand here. So bile is really important. It's made in the liver, squeezed out by the gallbladder to help emulsify, break down, absorb our fats. It's also antimicrobial, so it's protective against things like SIBO and yeast overgrowths as well. And it's really important to have nice, smooth running bile to be able to excrete our hormones too. So what I noticed here was bilirubin was on the higher end. We covered this in one of our masterclasses too. When we see bilirubin high and there were antibiotics given for SIBO, then it came right back down. So why I asked if she had any gut issues is because we want to investigate if SIBO is could be like one of the underlying mechanisms here for her health issues. Bilirubin and estrogen also go through the same pathway. It's called glucuronidation to it's one of our like detoxifying pathways in the liver. So if that's all backed up, then the estrogen is going to be more of a problem too. We also see the lower HDL, higher LDL, triglycerides.
Sage, can you send me these bloods, Sage, on my WhatsApp, please? Or go on.
This ties into like insulin was a bit high too. So this ties into a metabolic picture here. What was else? Yeah. So with the insulin being like around 11, it's not like the worst, but it could be a reason why she's struggling to lose weight. And then vitamin D could be a bit better. That's going to really tie into the immune system, methylation as well in an indirect way. Endo too. So those were the main things that I saw there. Because I went through this quite fast, if you need to correct me, Alexander, on anything, just feel free.
Of course. Doing great. Doing awesome.
So that's that. But do you want me to go into like some things we can do for it?
Let's get into that for a second. Guys, I know we're covering some terms that you guys might not know. It's okay. You will learn. It's going to happen. Any just questions or follow-ups right now in this moment in time? Thanks for using the emojis, by the way. I love them. Just real quick. So endometriosis presentation on Marina. What was the other problems?
So bloating, loose stools, a bit of stomach pain, bloating after fatty foods and feeling heavy, and
Because
really low libido.
What's the top, like, number 1, 2 things that if you helped her fix, she would love you for?
I think libido at the moment and
Really?
losing weight. Yeah, libido is causing a really big issue in her relationship.
Right.
So that and losing weight is her number 1 goal. But yeah, I think digestive issues is probably up there as well.
That question, by the way, guys, is a question I recommend you ask all your clients, because I do not expect the answer for libido. Now, if you know a client saying to you libido, weight loss is important, endo is important, all these other things are really important, but they take months' time. If we can get an early win and get her libido up, that would be awesome. In that case, I have to have a deeper conversation with the client to try and parse out, is this a physiological thing or a psychological thing, or what combination? Because libido can be very psychological and emotional as well. Okay, so you have to understand that you could be pushing up against physiology, but really they're just not attracted to their partner, or they become very disconnected from their body, or something else. So let me come back to you on some libido potential solutions that can just help you acutely for that, and then I'll let Kiara get into some practical things to go with the underlying root mechanisms going on.
Okay, so for methylation, we want to look at our B vitamins. You can do this through nutrition, liver, nutritional yeast. I think those are like the most bang for buck ones, or you can just do a B complex. Because her stomach and gut is like not the best, we might go for a liposomal B12.
Yeah, I would. I'd definitely. Guys, liposomal is a spray, bypasses the digestion from the stomach. When you think, hey, these supplements aren't working, what's the problem here? You can commonly think it's either the type, the form, the dosage, or the mechanism, the delivery method, aka capsules that are broken down via stomach acid, or a liposomal delivery, which is a spray typically under the tongue, which bypasses that digestion, which typically is more bioavailable and absorbable. So I opt for that when I can.
We can also do creatine, optional, but I think a lot of people should be taking creatine to help with methylation and a million other things. So the dose in a B complex of B12 might not be enough given the absorption issues. So we could probably go both. Or you could do improved, because the folate wasn't too low, you could do folate through food. That could be like cooked leafy greens or chicken liver. And then you could just do the liposomal B12 if you want to keep things really minimal. We also definitely want magnesium in there. Does a million things. Probably go for a glycinate, or that's usually what I go for, yeah. We want zinc to come up more. We can do that through supplements, as like a zinc L-carnosine or an oyster repletion. Probably a supplement in this case.
Zinc is that low, guys, so it's an 11. Optimal is going to be somewhere between, and this is in your blood work module, it's going to be somewhere between like 17 to 21. Okay, zinc, think immune system, it helps make neutrophils and white blood cells. Think libido, sexual function as well. We want to get that up to like nearly double. The amount of oysters you would have to consume is insane. Eat oysters. It's not going to be enough to get someone out of the depths of this type of deficiency, particularly in the presence of a gut issue. So therefore, yes, probably a zinc L-carnosine would be intelligent.
Is the dosage of around 30 milligrams off the top of my head?
To replete all the way from 11, you will probably want more. Upper limit's going to be around 40 milligrams. However, we can use higher 40 to 80 split dosages for the first, let's say, 8 to 12 weeks. Then retest around that, make an adjustment, probably bringing that down by about half if you're seeing it move up meaningfully. Basically just resend the bloods and I'll tell you where to go and how I think about it. But in the beginning of getting someone out of deficiency, if it is safe to do so, you can afford to go above the upper limit for a temporary period of time. 30 milligrams will take some time. 60 to 80, you'll get there a lot faster.
Okay, cool. To work on the bile issue.
Do we have our copper? Because
No, I don't think copper was tested.
okay. So guys, what does zinc do to copper? It chelates it. It reduces it. Too much zinc, you drop copper. You need to understand the interactions of nutrients. You'll learn them. Fatigue, anemia, like copper is important for red blood cell production. Even if you start noticing you get gray hairs, could be a copper deficiency. It's not just genetics. Tingling, weakness, anxiety. You start to see symptoms pop up after a lot of zinc, you might be dropping copper too much.
Cool. We love our minerals. Anyways, for bile. Because she's getting loose stools and nausea after fatty foods, I'm assuming, or after eating. We can probably drop the fats a bit to help with the symptom management. Eggs are going to be really good for the choline. Bitters, this is so simple and easy food intervention for optimizing bile flow is having like a small bitter salad. The vinegar as well will help with the insulin resistance in a way. Something like rocket or radish or artichoke, having a little bit before the meal will help to squeeze bile out to help with the fat digestion. And then if we want to look at supplements, taurine is like a star for this, but also a lot of other things too. Maybe a TUDCA if it's more severe, but question mark on that one. What do you think, Alexander?
Hold on, I was just writing a response to Christian. I didn't actually hear that. We're talking bile, taurine, TUDCA, bitters.
Yeah, I think I go with taurine more because it's a less harsh version, and then I'm not sure if TUDCA would be appropriate here.
I would start with the bitters, reduction in fats and taurine first before a more heavier hand, unless, for example, like her liver enzymes or she was dealing with some that were like really high, or there was some other type of potential like liver condition, like EGFR was really high.
Yeah,
I don't
no.
think we saw that.
No, they were all okay. So yeah.
I'll just start simpler.
Okay. So those are some things we can do to help that along a bit more. Now, with like the cholesterol panel, the metabolic picture, we can look at black seed oil. That's a really nice one.
Love.
Omega-3.
Black seed is S tier. We've used it for thousands of years. It was found in the tomb of Tutankhamun, actually. Fun fact. In the 30 days, 30 protocols, I've put that in there as an S tier supplement. Diabetes, liver problems, skin issues, sleep. Very safe, very effective. Habshifa is the recommended brand. Get a 5% thymoquinone. It's the active compound within black seed oil. Thymoquinone. The thing actually having the therapeutic benefit. Probably recommend you all take it without knowing all of your health conditions and health issues. That's all.
Yeah. So omega-3, Alexander loves the Bioceuticals brand for its rigorous testing. There is another one called Omega Blood Sugar that has chromium and ALA in it. I believe it is tested really well too. We need to double check that though. So if in doubt, go for Bioceuticals.
And you guys can all order practitioner grade supplements through me. I put a link in the top of Zion where you can get another brand called Metagenics. Metagenics, just remember that brand, really nice practitioner grade brand. We have some omega-3s from them. Also remember to store your omega-3s in the fridge because they have high rancidity risk. They're more sensitive to temperature regulation, so keep them in the fridge.
Inositol is another really good one. It does so many things as well. It's great for metabolic issues, hormones, sleep, anxiety, does a lot. So we could look at that as well. Her vitamin D could be optimized a bit more. It's not terrible. So either like get out in the sun like her life depends on it or supplement that. From a lifestyle perspective, we go walks after meals, circadian hygiene. So like morning light, being out in the sun, sunset, darkness at night. It's also going to help with producing melatonin on your own. which is a really powerful antioxidant. It's so good for your mitochondria. We can also do vinegar, probably not in a shot before the meals, but like more integrated into the meal like a salad. Make sure her macros are good. So, the protein, fats, carbs, they're not like way crazy. Like her fats are at like 150 grams a day or something. Just do like a really good audit of her diet. See what nutrients are missing from the diet. The nutrition tracker is really good for this. Or if you don't have that, then Chronometer is good. If there's a nutrient that's like consistently super, super low, we want to try add in foods that are going to be bumping that up through the diet. This is just generally a way we can minimize excess supplements too. Like we always want to try go food first unless there's like a pretty clear deficiency. So if we can like start with this for the metabolic and the insulin picture, and she gets good results with that, then like that's great. Then we can look at adding in like a bit more heavier stuff. Make sure she's training too, because muscle's really important, building muscle. This is like sort of in the background. We want to try get her to go low tox. It's really important for endo.
Yeah, we got a low tox spreadsheet database in Zion as well for you guys.
Lastly, as well, when you're looking at her diet, we want to go high polyphenols, great for inflammation, endo, basically everything here. Like it's one of those things that are so broad. So like we're going to look at pomegranate, like juice. Pomegranate juice for women is that's an S tier food to have in. Berries, ginger, what else? Green tea,
Coffee. Another S tier consistent like staple food, like keep blueberries in like most days. 150 to 200 milligrams has the amount of polyphenols needed to exert some type of therapeutic benefit for anti-tumor, anti-cancer effects. It's going to be in, I have a presentation that's quite known called the Big 7 Foods. I'm putting blueberries or polyphenol group foods like that in there. You guys ask like, what's leverage? Like we talk about leverage today, like what's high leverage for food? Oysters, blueberries, kiwis, pomegranate, ginger, coffee. I used to not drink it at all. You want to think high leverage first. On the supplement list here, what's high leverage? Have a guess, guys. Can we have a quick guess on what do we think if we just had to pick like 3, like even you, Sage, like what's the highest leverage here on this list? Although there's not that many. What's highest leverage here? If you only had to pick 2 or 3.
I'd probably go black seed oil, zinc, and either magnesium or B.
You're thinking along the right lines. Yeah, B12, absolutely. Absolutely. B12 is going to have a overwhelming effect on the most amount of body systems. Creatine's a no-brainer. Magnesium glycinate. The thing about the glycinate, it's good, helps break down, it's inhibitory in its effects on the brain, so it can help regulate glutamate, which is an excitatory compound in the brain that helps bring it down to relax, reduce anxiety. So that's often why we see glycine attached to that in that magnesium. It's quite a nice combination. And then black seed, I'd put there if I had to pick. But hopefully we don't have to pick and we can use many of them.
Yeah. I have a question.
Yes, sorry, good.
So I watched the endo module the other day with, I can't remember her name.
Nat Congrutus?
Yes.
Yep.
And she had that stack, the supplement stack with the Pain X, Gynoclea, and Glutagenics. Would you also include those ones?
Does she have her symptoms are manageable right now though, aren't they?
Yeah, so she doesn't bleed at all really. She gets a little bit of pain, but it's not a lot compared to before.
I personally wouldn't add it in unless she is in pain.
Okay. But what about so if it's managing her pain at the moment, like the Mirena, wouldn't the lesions and everything still be there?
When was her surgery? She got it diagnosed in surgery?
Yeah, she had surgery, was it last year? So she's had 2 so far.
Okay.
So she had 1 and then it created a lot of scar tissue. And then she had the next one and I think they cleared out some of the scar tissue because she was experiencing a lot of pain from the scar tissue. Yeah.
So NAC is one of those supplements that can help to keep lesions at bay or even sort of start to work at them if you're concerned about that.
Yeah.
If she's in pain, I would go for a PEA, a pine bark, curcumin, boswellia. Those are really good anti-inflammatories that work nicely for pain. But to go back to what Alexander was saying before, we need to get the nervous system and the stress under control and get her nice and regulated. It's going to do way more than any of this list that I have here. Everything I'm saying here, it's not discounting the fact that we need to work on the really simple fundamentals. Whatever is missing in her lifestyle and her diet, we go there first.
And to be honest, guys, I know that can be harder. Why are supplements so sexy? Simple. A plus B equals C. One, that's not true in biology. There's so many downstream systems that are affected, but it seems that way. I put zinc in, it goes up. Probably. I put this in, it helps. In an ideal world, we do both at the same time. In a constrained world, which we have, clients will often, the burden you put on them for monetary constraints with supplements and protocols and testing can contribute to them moving from you because they can't afford it. I thought it would cost this, the cost is too high. Coaching psychology though, coaching stress management can be tricky. That's why I encourage you guys to bring your coaching calls to here, and I'll give you the best feedback for your coaching that you'll receive from anywhere else because you don't receive that feedback. And you learn through feedback. So I really encourage you to do the inconvenient thing, which is give the client the extra time, go the extra mile to help them regulate themselves, and put in place some resources for them. Give them some tools that they can use to help their stress. Simone was talking about earlier how she fixed a client's sleep with just like one strategy that was related to stress and regulation. Anything you want to add on that, Kiara?
No. I just like also have my own experience with this too. Like I'm someone that's very on top of my health, taking all the supplements, doing everything. But I notice that when I'm stressed, it's like everything I'm doing is way less effective than if I'm regulated. So it's a clear difference.
On the topic of libido, I know many of you probably would like to improve yours. It's just a common challenge of a lot of men and women. I got something for you. I knew it was saffron. I just wanted to pull up the research and the dosage to remember. I'll share my screen and show you the research on saffron. And then I know we're going over, but I like to give you guys more. Whoever wants to become the best will stay the most. And hopefully you can see my screen. I didn't. Kiara, do you mind just stopping your share, please?
Oh, yeah.
Thank you very much. All right. Saffron. While I speak, Kiara, maybe if you can just put a little like short description on like what saffron is. It's from a plant. The saffron group, so there's two groups, placebo and one that received 15 milligrams twice a day of saffron. The saffron group showed a remarkable 62% improvement from baseline with the particular benefits in desire, lubrication, and remember, ladies, not to nocebo you, but lubrication, not just ladies, men's important to know, lubrication does start to decrease as you get closer to your menopausal age or perimenopausal age. It's somewhat of a normal biological process, but there are things you can do to improve it. Just in case you ever get self-conscious about it, you don't have to because you can improve it. And satisfaction within the female sexual functional index with no reported side effects. Systematic review. Is there anything else? Saffron also improved various health parameters, fasting blood glucose, waist circumference, diastolic blood pressure, and cholesterol, LDL, symptoms of depression, cognition, sexual function when compared to control groups. Common side effects, nausea, dry mouth, poor appetite, headaches. No serious adverse events were reported. So Sage or anybody else who wants to help their clients with libido or themselves, saffron for men and women does seem to help. And then I'll explain one more thing. The share screen guy gone. I have a massive screen in front of me, and you know when you have a big screen or a bunch of screens and you kind of find this one thing and it's just gone? That's what's happening right now. All right, try and zoom me in. All right, in regards to libido and sexual function supplements, cool. Notice, so driving arousal, the relationship of arousal and the nervous system is very strong. If you think back in your times, if you don't mind us going there, that the times where you had your strongest libido, where you were the most aroused, it wasn't just a visual stimulus. It was actually predicated beforehand by a change in your state. What was that state? It was a parasympathetic state. It was a calm state. It was a grounded state. See, when you stressed, achieving, doing, taking action, naturally, blood flow not only is diverted to other areas other than your genitals, you're also just very cognitive, very mental, very in your head. Okay, the effects of this are hormonal. The effects of this are very psychological in that you're not thinking, you're just thinking, you're not feeling. And so one way to improve your libido for you and your clients is to help them get into a parasympathetic state. When you are calm, when you're relaxed, that is the optimal state for driving libido, because you get out of your head, get into your body, blood pressure lowers, and it starts to create the environment that not only allows your nervous system to relax, but it allows you to connect emotionally, physically, create intimacy. That's a great biological point, Kiara.
Thanks.
All right. Oh, let's do some Q&A if we have any. Who's here? Georgia Vass. How was that? Any follow-ups? Any thoughts? Questions? Any confusion?
Yeah, that's really helpful. I guess with the endo stuff and the pain and the nervous system, I find I've just got a client at the moment where it's very much stuck in a cycle, because I feel the pain is causing a lot of the negative thought patterns, and it's kind of in a bit of a spiral. So would you recommend, like, we're doing implementing like sleep hygiene and grounding and that sort of stuff, but
Right.
yeah, would you also recommend the supplements in this
Yeah.
case?
Yeah. Have you heard of PEA?
Yeah.
Have you tried that with her?
She's just very wary of supplements, like there's a lot of like resistance going on. So I guess I've been also wary to recommend things because I don't want to overwhelm her. Like we're doing creatine and magnesium at the moment, and
Did you say
like a beef liver supplement. But yeah, I'll add the PEA in.
So this is
Fucking
great. We can
like,
have
it was
the
pretty
perfect
good, though.
supplement.
Yeah. Does it
But-
stink from that fruit in there or not?
Kirby, you got your mic on, man. It does stink.
Kirby,
I
you
can
got your
smell it from
mic on,
here.
man. It does stink.
It's sort of just stuck, ain't you?
You can't hear me. I just got to mute his ass. PEA. What's the actual belief that we need to help the client relearn or change around supplements?
There's just a lot of it's more about money.
Oh, very practical. So you need to pick them really carefully. I'll show you a study on PEA, and I think if you can help give the client evidence, maybe they can help justify their greatest symptom. That
What was
can be
that, sorry?
helped. And I'm gonna mute you again, Kirby. And also communicate to the client that, hey, this isn't forever, temporary period of time. If we don't see the results here in this time period, we can just kick it out. You don't have to buy it again. So that can often help. But if you show her something like what I'm about to show you, here we go. Also, it's not just period pain. It's like joint pain as well. Lucky for your athletes, I would keep PEA in the cupboard. All right. Now this is menstrual pain. It's not exactly endometriosis condition, but it's very correlated biology going on. PA significantly reduced acute menstrual pain compared with placebo. A single dose, 300 milligrams, provided approximately 25% greater pain relief than placebo within 2.5 hours. I had one of my, and now the dosage here is actually a bit underdosed. Okay. And I'll let Kiara share because this is a big topic of passion for her. The minimum dosage is going to range from that all the way up to 1200 milligrams a day. Split dosage, 600, can go a bit higher, but they just haven't studied as much empirically, meaning coaching in the real world. We do notice still it's okay to go temporarily higher. Danielle has some really bad endometriosis, really bad ovulatory and menstrual pain in the past. That was one of the many compounds that we put in with also the help of Kiara. And that really helps her. Had a client recently, 8 out of 10 period pain, went down to about a 3 within a few hours of putting in PEA. She was like, oh my God, it's crazy. Put that in on not just day one. I like to put it in prophylactically the day before. Instead of reacting, I get a bit ahead of it. Yeah, Georgia, how's that? Any follow-ups there?
No, that's really helpful. I think as well, like a lot of the resistance just comes from not believing, because no, because painkillers just aren't really working for her that well, like just not believing that anything will really work. So that study really helps.
Okay, good. So okay, good. Okay, she responds in that way, like studies and information. Okay. If you can show her someone like her as well, yeah, I'm happy to even send you a screenshot of what my client said. And it's like, hey, this is a client from my mentor. This is what happened. Sometimes people just need to see it's possible. And that's the Pain X supplement that Sage put in. Yeah, I really like that one. Okay. Let's go to my men, my boys. Kobe, hey, we went from business. Now we did some office stuff. Now we went to the health side of things. How's that for you? I know just how was that for you? Any follow-ups?
Just regarding everything today,
Yeah, just like, one takeaway that you have and just any follow-up questions.
I think it was nice just to like, it's nice to cover a few different bases.
Yeah.
So obviously for me, like the business stuff, getting things set up, I'm only 3 months in. Just everything I can learn, even if it's one little takeaway. And I think when you were speaking about that 6 weeks versus putting urgency on it, like how can you make people go, I can't skip this? That's the biggest thing. There's so much of the same content on social media, and we're all aware because we're seeing it. I'm seeing it. I'm sure you guys are all seeing it too. To really put that emphasis on capturing someone's attention, just to allow what the service you have to actually be used. I found that was a bit eye-opening. And I know it's not the first time I've sort of seen it, but to have that reinforced. But just even looking at, like, I've got all my notes here in Notion, and just looking at everything in terms of the blood work, it's just nice to have more perspective, because that's definitely something I'm not as familiar with. So really nice to cover that. And I think it's nice that it's like we're doing, you're going from business to, personal health to, a few different topics. It's nice to break it up.
Good. Thanks for that feedback.
But yeah, the fact that I'm taking notes as well helps, because I can go back through it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I really enjoyed the call. It's super engaged.
I love your contribution, man. I love your contribution. You always add something meaningful, and you always add detail to the forms. I appreciate you.
That's okay. Yeah, no, I went pretty hard on the other night, so I wanted to.
Thank you for all of you who put in that effort. I'm a madman, guys. Like, I will bend the universe to make Zion and this coach's corner like really something meaningful and grow. And so while it's intimate, take advantage of it, because the other programs out there, they got like 50, 100 people in their call. You're not getting your question answered. Right now, you can get everything from us. I'll sit here for an extra 30 minutes. So 2 examples of that. When James Smith released his business mentorship, I jumped on it immediately. It's now tripled in price. It's much more inaccessible. Eugene Tiao did some one-on-one mentoring with him. I still got 2 calls with him. He's never released that. I got the chance, I spent a lot of money, but I got the chance to talk to somebody who's leading this country and the world as a in the health and fitness industry, and doing it with great authenticity and humility. He's very successful at it. It's going to be the cheapest it'll ever be. He might not do one-on-ones anymore. What is the point of what I'm saying? When you're early in the journey, when you have an opportunity in front of you, sometimes it's easy to take for granted. I'm not saying you guys are. You're not. You're still here. All I'm saying is, while you're here, extract everything you can from us. Ask all your questions. And I'll keep saying this. If you have any feedback, tell me. Tell Kiara. Tell us. We want to make this the best experience for you. So if you feel like the call, or you would have loved to cover this topic, or maybe if we do this? Can we talk about this? What if it flowed like this? I didn't love this. I love this. It would really help me help you if you could have the courage to tell us. So please do.
I'll ask a question.
Okay.
Because we were talking about, stress management, nervous system control and stuff like that, especially with sleep. Like for me, I realized a trend in myself is like, I know I've got a lot of things happening because I'm working full time, studying full time as well, and working 2 jobs now. And the biggest thing with me with stress management is my sleep and stress like go hand in hand, because okay, like last night I worked out till 11:30, 11:40 p.m. Came home 12:10. I think I would be in my bed sleeping. My alarm was set for 8 a.m., but I'm waking up at 5 a.m. just because it's gonna go off at 8. How do I manage my it stresses me out.
Do you do that every day? You wake up hours before your alarm?
It's gonna be like at least 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 5:30, 4:30 at times. It's like random every day. but I would always be awake, just be like, oh, my alarm's about to go off. It's not even minutes, it's like hours before.
You're thinking
And then,
your alarm's
yeah,
going to
my
go
alarm's
off.
gonna go off, and I'm like, that I've realized is like, it disrupts my whole sleep cycle.
See you, Jay. I'm glad you loved it. See you again next month. Turn the alarm off.
Fair enough.
I'm oversimplifying the answer
Yeah,
on purpose,
yeah,
but can you actually try it?
yeah,
Can we see what your body does naturally?
fair enough. I can try that. Yeah,
Because then you remove the anticipatory anxiety because you don't have anxiety to wake up for anything.
exactly.
Uh,
Yeah, I see that now.
If you get to bed at a reasonable time, you will wake up in time for whatever you have to. You're not going to be in bed for 12 hours sleeping. I don't wake up for alarms anymore. That was part of my like ideal life, and like freedom to me is like no alarms.
Fair enough.
If I have to wake up to alarms, it's not worth doing. Like most of the time. Like I didn't start like that, by the way. I woke up to alarms at 4 a.m. to go coach. Okay, so don't
Yeah.
copy paste what I'm doing. That's like aspiration. But for
No,
you right
I
now,
understand.
for you right,
Yeah.
right now, Fez, you get an anticipatory anxiety. You either got to go to bed earlier, so we need to time manage, which we will together in our one-on-ones, or right now, if you can just remove the alarm just a few days of the week, I want to see how you
Yeah.
respond. Is
Done.
that cool?
Especially on my days off. Like, it's not days off, but if I'm starting work at 12, that's like easy for me. I
Oh,
can take
great.
my alarm off.
All
Yeah.
right, great. Let's do that. All right. All right. Let's leave it there. That's 2 hours. That's 2 hours. I'll see you in the chats, guys. Any questions, thoughts, follow-ups, put them in the chats. I'll upload this so you can watch it back. And I'm going to be releasing a 2026 planner. I built an app, and I'm going to give you guys a structure of how you can plan the next year better than any structure that I've created or done. And I'm excited to show you, and I'll show you soon. I'll see you then. And look forward to the next one. Big love to all of you. Peace.